What's going on, guys? Ben here, and today I'm going to go through the Steam Awards and what I've chosen for each category. And I've kind of put some self-imposed rules so that kind of it makes it a bit more interesting, because I do imagine when these are actually like announced, the winners are announced properly on Steam on January 2nd, that most of these will be Baldur's Gate free, and I didn't want to just be putting Baldur's Gate free for a lot of these categories. So maybe dig a bit deeper, find the other games that kind of fit into these different places as well. I'm going to go through each one and the reasoning behind it. I've set that rule that I can only pick one game. So yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and let's jump straight into it. Okay, so first up, we have the Game of the Year award. No kind of cliffhanger here. Baldur's Gate 3 has to go down as my game of the year personally. There are some suggestions of like Resident Evil 4. I haven't played Resident Evil 4 remake, but I personally just think because it's a remake, it shouldn't get it. That might be controversial. I know it's an incredibly polished game and reviewed very well, but I just don't think it would warrant it, basically. I think Lethal Company's come too soon. Some of the suggestions down here. Hogwarts Legacy isn't probably even in my top 5 games this year, and I really enjoyed it as well. So yeah, like I said, I think, Starfield wasn't amazing. Lies of P is amazing, but I wouldn't say it's game of the year. Sons of the Forest isn't game of the year. It's still early access is what I think, isn't it? Diablo 4's been an absolute mess. Remnant 2 is incredibly, I really enjoy Remnant 2. Probably in my top 5. But I might do this as a separate video, like my top 5 and my top 10 games of 2023. But for game of the year, it would be up there as my runner-up or something like that. Yeah, we're going to go Baldur's Gate 3. But it does have to be said, my only caveat here is that Baldur's Gate 3 has been in early access for a few years. So it has launched fully and to great reward and aplomb and well-deserved. But it has been cooking and playtesting for all that time. But yeah, Baldur's Gate for me. Baldur's Gate 3, Game of the Year. Next, we have VR Game of the Year. And I'm new to VR. So let's just be nice and honest here. I've been playing some of the older VR titles that have come out, like Beat Saber. I've tried Half-Life Alyx, and I've tried Arizona Sunshine, and a few little ones like that, right? Technically, Steam said the only one that I've actually tried that's eligible in my library that came out this year is Golf It. I have played it, played about 20 minutes of it, played a course, and it was really enjoyable. It was like playing Wii Golf or anything like that, but just with a headset on, and was quite cool. So Golf It is my default nomination. Personally, though, I'm trying to go off games that I've played, so that's why I've just gone with Golf It, and it's kind of just my arbitrary. That's VR Game of the Year, isn't it? It's fine. Next up, we have Labor of Love. Now, I pondered over this one quite a lot. I've gone for Dead by Daylight, and this is a game I do play. I just don't play it too much on stream or on YouTube. It's one of those games I keep to myself. A bit like Football Manager and stuff like that. I don't really do content around it. I just enjoy that. I mean, we look at my suggestions. We've got Final Fantasy 14, Destiny 2. Destiny 2 just cannot be, given how they've treated their staff. They've the release of Lightfall and the delay of the final shape. All of that stuff, plus the constant kind of egregiousness with microtransactions and cosmetics. I do not think small indie company Bungie deserve the Labor of Love award for Destiny 2. But for me, it was a toss-up between Stardew Valley or Dead by Daylight. Battlefield 2042 was going to be a close third. Now, for me, Stardew Valley, Concerned Ape continues to put out free updates for this game years later. And there's a new one coming soon, and just blows my mind that there's still potentially new content coming, and updates and stuff like that. Even while he's working on his new, I think it's called the Haunted Chocolatier game as well. And Battlefield 2042 had a great season 5 and season 6. At least to begin with, it's had a strong year with the map reworking. It got the 100k player count. It got people on board again. It feels like what it should have been when it launched. But that's also arguably why it didn't win my Labor of Love award, because they kind of put themselves in the position by releasing it in the state they did in 2021, that it meant they had to put all this work in to get it to that state, right? Dead by Daylight has released some amazing DLCs this year. And yes, they're paid for, but but they're still pretty reasonable for the content and everything like that you get for them. I mean, we've got Chucky coming soon. We just had Alien and Ripley. They got Nicolas Cage in the game. We had the Singularity chapter. Less said about Skull Merchant, probably the better. But you know what I mean? They've been doing really well, and they managed to get the Stranger Things license back. So Stranger Things can be bought again as the DLC. You got the map there now and all the characters and everything like that as well for people to enjoy. I feel like they've really pulled out the park with a lot of like good quality of life improvements as well. If you play Dead by Daylight, you'll know they put in the little tracking system for like knowing what your teammates are up to, and they've done a load of balancing and things and anti-tunneling measures and all this kind of stuff. So for me, Dead by Daylight stands out as the deserver of labor of love for this one. Best game on Steam Deck award. Now, I've gone for Halls of Torment, and you're probably like, what? What's that? Now, it's a Vampire Survivors like, really enjoyable game. So if you like Vampire Survivors, if you like that type of game, like it looks like an old Diablo, like a Diablo 2, but with the Vampire Survivors stuff, runs really well on deck, really deep kind of customization and everything like that, and options and stuff like that. It was a real gem for me this year. And you got to bear in mind, this is because arguably there's 2 games that are better on Steam Deck that I've played so far, but I've got those 2 further down in my list, and I can only have 1 game per one. So that's my reasoning before we get people in the comments or angry people like, who's putting Halls of Torment on best game on Steam Deck? Yeah, I'm going for Halls of Torment as my one for the Steam Deck award. Next up, we've got the Better with Friends award, and I've gone for Remnant 2. Now, I think Lethal Company will probably win this, despite it being a last-minute release of this year, and it's meant to be phenomenal with friends. I've still yet to play it myself, which is probably one of the reasons why I can't really put it in here, because I haven't actually tried it yet. I've got it. I just need to get my friends to actually jump online and play it. But for me, Remnant 2 is phenomenal, and it gives me an excuse to put it in here as well, because I want it to be represented in these awards somewhere. This is a game that's really fun co-op. Remnant 2 is a phenomenal game, and yeah, I think it really works well in the co-op setting, and really great. Just an enjoyable game all around. So that's that. But I think Lethal Company will win this, just because of the huge popularity it's had. It's come at the right time. Let me know what you think, what you've put for yours. Okay, for this next one, we have the Outstanding Visual Style Award, and I've gone for Dredge. And this is why Dredge, which I feel is my Steam Deck, my best game on Steam Deck award. That's why Dredge isn't there and Dredge is here instead, because Dredge's art style and just how it looks, how it performs, art and direction of it all entirely. It's a nice looking game on its own. It stands out as well. It's a memorable game because of its art style, and I think that's what this whole award is about. There's a couple of games on this nominee list or the suggested list, should I say. Cocoon, I've seen the trailers of that. It looks phenomenal, looks really nice drawn art style. Would not be surprised if that won. And Chance of Sonata, I've heard loads of good things about this. Again, Cocoon and Chance of Sonata, I just haven't had a chance to play myself yet. I don't own them, so can't really put that through. But personally, I would be going for Dredge for this one. If I was going to bet to see who wins, I think it would be Hi-Fi Rush or Cocoon maybe, because they do stand out for me. And next up, we have the Most Innovative Gameplay Award. Now, I've gone for Hogwarts Legacy here. There is, again, a couple of games here on the suggested which I haven't played yet. So, you know, some of these like Silica's, the RTS single first-person shooter kind of combo. I've heard 3 minutes to 8 is meant to be really good. Like, there's some good like shouts here for like really innovative and new gameplay and Cocoon as well and stuff like that. Again, Lethal Company, Dave the Diver. Apparently, that's on my like, I've played a little bit of that, but not enough of it to really put it on any awards, if that makes sense. Gone for Hogwarts because integrity. I haven't played enough of Dave the Diver to really make an informed opinion on it yet. Although a lot of people do really rate that. Hogwarts Legacy, the reason I've picked this here is purely on the basis that being able to like visit the grounds and the area, the seamless kind of broom flying, the spells and the mini games, all the kind of different bits and pieces like that. But then even the things like the room of requirement and being able to like customize your space and everything like that. Really enjoyed this. I do need to jump back into this to actually finish this game because a lot of other stuff came out and all that kind of stuff as well. That's what I've gone for this. I appreciate it might not be the most innovative of the games that have come out this year, but I don't think I've played enough of the innovative titles especially some of the ones that it's suggesting down here, actually have a great say on this one. So I'm more than happy for someone to suggest some good ones that they've put through, and let me know your thoughts on those. Best game you suck at award, super easy, Lies of P. This one, obviously I'm doing a let's play of this. I struggle with Souls-likes in general, so this might not be the best game that you suck at for everyone kind of thing. It certainly is for me though. It's just up there as a really good game in its own right as well. And for me, easily in my top 10 games that I've played this year in an overall kind of list. I think I am going to do a video on that probably in a couple of weeks. My overall kind of top 10 games of the year. Yeah, I'm going to go for Lies of P because for me personally, that's the type of games that I like really suck at. Now we've got best soundtrack award. I've gone for Starfield because Inanza has pulled off a masterpiece there. I think it's some of his best work. I just really like sci-fi tracks. Like I really rate like Interstellar's soundtrack, for instance, and stuff like that. And so Starfield, it was just hitting all the right kind of things in my mind. And it was, for me, the music was kind of the standout of Starfield. It was kind of the bit you couldn't really criticize, at least from my point of view. I couldn't really fault it, and it knew when to be there, it knew when not to be there. It had the great presence when it was around. Audio wasn't bad in all, like in general, but the soundtrack itself, which is what we're talking about here, really good, and that's what I've gone with for this one. Like I said, happy again to hear what you guys think or would recommend, but for me, of the games I've played this year, Starfield just stood out massively for me. Last two now. This one, we've got Outstanding Story Rich Game Award, and I've gone for Fort Solace for this one. Now, you think I can't pick Starfield, I can't pick Lies of P, I can't pick Baldur's Gate 3 or anything like that because I've already picked them elsewhere. I can't pick Hogwarts or anything like that. Also can't pick Jedi Survivor because I haven't actually played that one, just because of all the bugs at launch and everything like that. I just avoided it. Of the ones I've played, Fort Solace was phenomenal, and my main reason for this is that because it says, you know, it's like prestige TV screenplay. For me, this was like a 3.5, 4 hour film. We actually did a let's play of this, which I'll leave linked below if you want to like watch it through. Because I would say, like, unless it's on a sale, it's not worth buying just because it is very one and done. But it's a phenomenal story. Like, it's like just sitting down and watching a 3.5 hour film that you get to control. And for me, the voice acting, the facial animations, like all of that was phenomenal, top tier. And the story was, I thought, unfolded really nicely. There was the right amount of tension. I just really enjoyed this game. It goes right up there to the top for me. Obviously, probably would fall behind like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that. It's just, obviously, I've already put Baldur's Gate as my game of the year, and I can only pick one. So as a standalone story game, Fort Solace, right at the top for me. And the last one we've got here is the Sit Back and Relax Award. Now, I've chosen another Let's Play I did, Under the Waves. This wins this award just because it really is just a nice, relaxing game. The music's really good on it as well. You're underwater. It's quite a pretty game as well. Like, it's got a nice kind of art style. Not enough to like win soundtrack or win like best visual art, you know, outstanding visual art presentation, all that kind of stuff like the other ones have won. When you combine all of that and then you have a controller, you can sit on the couch, or you can play it on your Steam Deck or something like that, and you can just sit and chill. Really enjoyable game. And it's like quite a touching story. It's not very combat focused, very forgiving with its mechanics. It's very like smooth, not difficult game, basically, and it's a very kind of peaceful game, but still with a good story and some characters and stuff like that. So for me, Under the Waves is the one I'm going to go for this one. But yeah, let me know below in the comments, is there anything you really disagree with me on here? Is there any that you thought, no, that's got to be game of the year, or that's got to be the Better with Friends game, or whatever it might be? Let me know. Like I said, it's just me sharing what I've chosen to opt for my ones. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.